Fair play to Nagelsmann. It's a heck of a skill, that, isn't it? Taking a phone call, sacking while you're going down the giant slalom.
Well, there you go.
That's worth its weight in gold, isn't it?
Well, he's got a lot of gold now, hasn't he, considering the payout he's going to receive until he takes a new job.
The Tottenham job.
Exactly. There have been links already, as I mentioned yesterday. As a child, he was pictured in a Tottenham shirt. So therefore, destiny sees them coming together, Mark. According to the bookies, Nagelsmann is favourite to be the next first-team coach of Spurs. Where do we stand on this?
Well, look, I mean, from Tottenham's point of view, they'd love to have Julian Nagelsmann because he, despite his experience at Bayern Munich, he's still one of the most highly rated young coaches in Europe. And, they've got a history. They took AVB after his setback at Chelsea. So, Spurs could go down that route again. But I don't think Nagelsmann would be wise to take Tottenham. I think right now what he needs is to make sure that his next job is the right job. And I think Spurs, any manager that goes to Tottenham now is set up to fail, isn't it? Because Harry Kane, is he going to stay? Is he going to go? They need a rebuild. I just don't see how you go to Tottenham and you can succeed. So Nagelsmann really needs his next job to be a success. And I don't see Tottenham offering that opportunity because they're going to have to find a way to rebuild that team. And why would he go to Tottenham? They probably won't be in the Champions League. That's 50-50. So he'd be taking a backward step. I think if he bides his time and waits for the right job, he'll get a better job than Tottenham. Because, and look, it's an easy one to link him to, isn't it? He's an available coach. He's an attractive proposition in terms of a name. But I think Nagelsmann will be wise to sit tight. He doesn't need a job, does he? Because he's going to get paid by Bayern Munich until he gets the job. So he can spin it out for as long as he wants.
He's wore the Tottenham top, so it's a good job his parents never put a Partick Thistle top on him, isn't it?
Air United.
Augie, when you say he needs to get a better job than Tottenham, are you talking about, what kind of jobs are you talking about?
Well, there's no champ. I mean, look, Nagelsmann has been at Bayern Munich, Champions League club. I think, is Tottenham a good job right now? If they're not in the Champions League next season, they might lose Harry Kane. What sort of job is that? You've got no chance of success. They've had Mourinho, didn't work. They've had Pochettino, they got rid of him, got to a Champions League final. I think from a perspective of, rebuilding his reputation, he needs to make the right choice. And, you've managed, Steve. It's like if you make the wrong choice, the next job could be your last job. So you have to be careful that you make the right decision. So Nagelsmann has to be very, very clever. And I think Tottenham, I just don't see how the next manager at Tottenham can succeed because of what the cards that he's been dealt before he's even arrived.
Here's one for you, Augie. Will Chelsea be monitoring this situation, do you think, or is he, as everybody keeps saying, is under not a lot of pressure for his job? Graham Potter, that is.
Well, yeah. I mean, let's wait and see at the end of the season when they finish 7th or 8th or 10th and out of the Champions League. I mean, they're saying all the right things, Chelsea, that Potter is safe, but again, I think from Nagelsmann's point of view, Chelsea would be a better bet than Tottenham because they've invested in the squad. And it's just a case of having a coach who can knit it all together and get some really good players playing together. And I'm not sure Potter has that ability, but, they've had a bit of a bounce recently, so we'll see on that. But I think it's like with Bayern saying that Nagelsmann's their guy until 11 p.m. and Chelsea saying the same with Potter. I've heard this years and years, and you guys are the same, that clubs always back the manager until they don't. And when they don't, they're gone. There's no kind of in between. It's a case of yes, we back him, he's sacked. Remember, Man United were backing Louis van Gaal all the way to the FA Cup final, which they won. And he was sacked basically on the day of the game because, Mourinho was lined up. So they say all the right things until it's convenient to get rid. And I think that's what Potter's got to be aware of because if they don't finish in the Champions League places, then it's going to be difficult for him.
Jan?
I think that the main problem for the reputation of Julian Nagelsmann, I understand where Steve is coming from because Tottenham is a great job in the Premier League, but he's been linked to Real Madrid as well. But what I think that is the big loss of his reputation is that he can't work with big stars. So will Julian Nagelsmann be then the Real Madrid coach where you have Modric, you have Toni Kroos, you have Benzema, all the players that maybe 1 or 2 years still in them. So that is the big thing that he will have now. On the other hand, how many seats are available, as they say in Formula One? Where should he go? He won't do anything in Germany, that's for sure. Will he go to PSG? No, that is the place where coaches go to die. No, so he won't go there. Spain, Barcelona, no. Real Madrid, maybe. But that is the thing that is with Real Madrid. There's too many elderly stars. And if Bayern says he can't work with Thomas Müller and Manuel Neuer, how on earth can he then work with the old boys at Real Madrid?
So my thing is,
I think a good job that you could wait for.
If Pochettino can take Spurs to a Champions League final, why can't Nagelsmann?
There you go. So would Spurs be a good fit, do you think, Jan?
Well, I think that Tottenham could be. I think that German coaches want to go to England. They've seen what Tuchel has done there. They've seen what Klopp has done there. That is kind of the bishops of the coaches in Germany, so they want to follow them. So if Tottenham can be available, with Chelsea, we don't know. Maybe Chelsea will be available. Then you can ask, but that will be the same thing again. Will Nagelsmann have the kind of power to get into the stars? The good thing about Chelsea is it's a lot of young players that also need to learn the game. I think Nagelsmann could be good there because that is the strength of Julian Nagelsmann, not maybe this politics and all this star treatment kind of thing. So maybe Chelsea or Tottenham will be the best alternatives right now.
Maybe the other side of the coin is he actually that good?
Yeah.
I mean, he's been put on this pedestal. I'm not saying he's a terrible coach or anything, I'm not saying that. But he's been put in this pedestal of, this guy's a bit of a genius. That word is sort of banded around, isn't it? Mm. Is it a case of...
Does he believe it?
Maybe it's just too early for him, maybe he is just too young, or maybe he's just not as good as people are saying that he is. I mean, I'm not saying he's done a decent job at Leipzig and Hoffenheim, obviously. But clearly Bayern Munich are not happy with him. Won the Bundesliga, I'll give you that. Went out to Villarreal, Champions League. This season's been difficult. But maybe he's just not the coach that everybody thinks he is.
His future then still very much up in the air. One thing is for sure, though, he will not be in the dugout for the Klassiker this weekend, which, of course, sees second take on first. Defending champions Bayern Munich taking...
Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube. And for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for premium content and live streaming, subscribe to ESPN+.